actually think Mark is feeling insecure about his relationship with Doe because of her intelligence. Even though he's romantically attracted to her, he feels inadequate when it comes to intelligence. This is something that have plagued women throughout time. It's not just an East thing. It happens in the US as well, where men feel inadequate when they're around an intelligent woman. So it's not even like something that is just unique to Korea. What jolts you awake? What keeps you up? With me if you can. Hello and welcome to Life Lessons and Confession, the channel where we figure out our power by figuring out ourselves. My name is Paola, and whether you're a new viewer or returning viewer, welcome. Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification. So we're going to continue with the review of Better Late Than Single. And if you watched your previous video, you'll know this is nighttime. Miu just talked with Mark about her feelings. So now the camera pans to J and G and that whole debacle that happened in the daytime, and he finally tells her why he was beating around the bush. He's a non-confrontational type of guy, and he thought if he didn't communicate that it wouldn't have hurt her. So in his own way, he was trying to spare her feelings, which honesty is always best. He finally talks to her, expresses himself, and tells her exactly what was on his mind. Okay, now it's day 5, secret dates. Everyone gets to choose the person who they want to go on a date with. Mimi is sitting at a bench, and Jay is her secret date. She's surprised. She didn't think he was interested in her. He says he is interested in her. He sees her in a romantic way, and she's happy about that. You know, Miu needs a win. She put herself out there and was very brave in telling Mark her feelings. So I feel like she needed a win. You know, it's always good to hear someone is interested in us. They think we are cool. They think we are nice. They think we're like this amazing person. It's nice to hear that. And I feel like Miu needed a win. Although I don't think they should be together, I like that he was able to finally express himself. After this day, Q and Sue have a secret date. So Sue's sitting at a table and Q comes over and they have a secret date. And they basically talk about, I guess, her childhood trauma. Unfortunately, Sue, when she was, I don't know if it's high school or middle school, but when she was much younger, she unfortunately had a stalker, and this scared her to death. This is why she feels like she needs a reliable partner who's going to be there, who's going to help her solve her feelings. She called herself unstable. I don't think she's actually unstable, but she called herself unstable, and she says even though she appears even killed at the moment, her emotions do fluctuate between happy and then just avoidant. And Q's listening. He's reaffirming her. He's saying he's going to have her back. He's going to try his best. All those wonderful words. After her date with Q, Song comes in. And she tells him the same thing. I had a stalker. I was scared. And it was a really pivotal point in my life. And this is something that scarred me deeply. And I'm still working towards it. And Song, I guess, in his own way, is like, that's all you have? That's what you're worried about? He kind of dismissed her, I guess, her fears as non-existent. Which for Sue, this was a positive. And I know some people might not like Song's approach, especially his nonchalant, laid-back attitude approach to just like, oh wait, that's what you were dealing with. But I actually did appreciate his approach. As someone who has gone through something similar, a somewhat reassuring and dismissive tone is probably the best way to get to my feelings, because I don't like words that are just like, it's going to be fine. It's like, well, you don't know it's actually going to be fine. You haven't gone through it. You have no experience. I have no experience. How do you know it's actually going to be fine? However, I understand those words are meant to encourage and reassure. Although I don't like them, whenever I do get those comments, I try to think positively, even though that's not something I resonate with. And in that same, but I also understand how a dismissive tone can come off as not caring, even though it can also present reassurance. Am I making sense? Basically, what I'm saying is we all have our own perspective, and I am of the belief of treat people the way they want to be treated, not the way you want to be treated. There are some people that reassuring tone works for them, whereas for others, like Sue and I, apparently, a more so like dismissive tone and minimizing tone seems like you are more in control than if you tell me it's going to be fine. There's a way to go about it. And I think the way Song went about it was actually a really good way to go about it. So I like his answer. Sue likes his answer. She's like, okay, Song just jumped at the top of my list. I mean, Q's answer was definitely bedside manners. He went to med school. I get it. But Song's answer was much more empowering and reassuring. Although it was dismissive, it conveyed an energy of reassurance and empowerment. After Sue and Song, Sango had a date with Sue, and she is shocked. Because she's like, we haven't talked since our first date, and I told you I was interested in you, but you showed no interest, so I pulled back. Why are you here? I was shocked too, girl. I was shocked when he showed up. I was just like, Sango, why are you here? I don't want to talk too much about him because I do feel like Korean Netflix tries to use him as a punching bag. I don't like it, so I'm just gonna leave it there. So after the Sue date, Mark and Do have their date. And she's just so giddy and so happy. She's finally found someone who likes her back. And they talk about their time as college students. They're both still college students and they're both in college, but they go to different schools. She goes to Seoul University. He goes to some other school that's not a Sky school. And they're basically talking about how their day is gonna go. He said, don't worry about it. I'm gonna come to your school, la da da. And she's all like, he's the one. He's the one for me. I finally found my Prince Charming. And then, cue the next scene, she is crumpled up in a ball, crying her eyes out. That's the cliffhanger of the episode. Jumping into the next episode, now we have the nighttime secret dates. And for this turnaround, the guys are gonna sit and wait while the girls come to them. So Mark is sitting waiting for his date with Do, and G comes in out of nowhere. He's shocked. He's like, G, why are you here? And she's just like, well, she had a crappy day and she just needed a friend. So they just sit there. She just vents to him about her work. She's a music producer. He tells her he's always been into music production, but his parents and his family have always been firmly against it. She says her family has also been against it, but she just did it. And she managed to get part-time jobs to be able to help her with her bills while she's pursuing her creative career. This is admirable to him. He really loves it. He's like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. I think she's so cool. Anyone who can work on the side, especially that young, to perform their creative career, amazing people. But he's like, she's so cool. I think she's so cool. And that is how that date ends. After the Mark and G date, Bambi comes in the room. And I just feel bad for Bambi. Because this whole time she has been like, Mark is the one for me. Mark is the one for me. But he has not reciprocated anything at all. If anything, he has just been polite. She shows up for the date. She asks him if he's still considering her as an option. He says yes, but it's going to be difficult because she's in the workforce and he's still a student. And she's like, we can make it work. There are going to be times, like on the weekends, you might not need to study. I could come visit you. We can make it work. Like, if two people really care about one another, they are going to make it work. And I agree with Bambi, but Mark is not into her. So the whole time they're having this date, I'm just feeling bad because she's the one giving up all the options. And he's polite about it. He's just like, yeah. He's just like, no. And I've always said this, and I'm going to say it again. Politeness is not kindness. It is not kindness. As a person who does practice politeness for the most part, unless I find you to be disrespectful, this kind of occurs to me where I'm trying to be polite to someone and they take it as more than just what it is. Politeness is pleasantries at best. And unless someone actually tells you they are interested in you in a romantic sense, I do not take politeness as kindness. I know in a really, really depressing world, alright, where people are just mean and nasty, sometimes seeing a polite person can be refreshing and it can feel like maybe they like you or they see you as a romantic prospect when they actually don't. So I guess I kind of don't know how to say this, but the thing is, this is why I always tell people politeness is not kindness. Politeness does not mean they're interested in you. Unless a person says they are interested in you, them just being nice does not always mean they're interested in you. There are times when they are nice to like say I'm interested, but that's not always the case. And yeah. Well, after that horrible date between Bambi and Mark, she does have an exit interview where she basically asks Netflix if love and dating and relationship is this hard. Unfortunately, girl, it is. If it was easy, I think everyone would be in a lovely relationship, but it's unfortunately hard. I didn't think it was going to be hard, but here we are. After that, the camera pans to Q and Song. Q and Song are the two men who are interested in Sue, and she can only choose to visit one person on this secret date. They're both sitting there just antsy. Song is in a restaurant sitting antsily. Q's at a bar. He used to be a bartender, so he's sitting there antsily. He's just like, hey, you know what? Give me a couple of drinks because I don't know if she's coming or not. Song is just like, well, I'm at a restaurant. I can't order before she comes. Ordering before she comes is gonna look off. So I guess I'm just gonna sit here. And Sue finally walks in. She walks into the restaurant where Song is at, and he is so surprised. She's like, wait, why are you surprised? He said, well, there's so much competition for you. I didn't think you were going to choose me, but I am happy and I am grateful you did choose me. And during the first impression, he actually thought she was a celebrity when they first came in. So I was like, okay, that's a nice little comment right there. So now the camera pans back to Mark, and Miu Miu shows up to Mark's date, and he's polite, you know, a gentleman. He's going to get up, guide her to the seat. And she basically asks him, where are you expecting me? He says, yes. I said, no, keep them on their toes. No. They should never be expecting you to come or you should not become. Be like Sue. Be a pleasant surprise. Not, yes, I was expecting you. Yes, I thought you were going to show up. When he said that, I was like, okay. I mean, Miu Miu did tell Mark her feelings and how she was interested in him in a romantic sense. He said she's not a zero, so I guess. But still, they should not be expecting you to be there. I am sorry. As a woman, this hurt me a little bit, but I guess I need to put my pride aside. She was flirting heavily with Mark, but Mark, as usual, is going to be polite. He's going to be kind. He's not going to be mean. It's just him being polite. It doesn't mean he's actually interested. So after Miu Miu leave, Do finally comes in, and for some reason, Mark does not have that glee, that joy, that glow he usually has when Do walks in. I'm like, what the freak happened? During the morning secret date, you were so happy to meet her. Now in the afternoon, it's kind of low energy. I was like, uh-oh. Apparently during their date, Do mentioned wanting a partner who is similar to her. And because of that comment, Mark feels like they are not on the same wavelength. I was surprised by this. And Do is kind of just taking everything in. She doesn't understand what suddenly changed. Like, this man just changed his mind in 5 hours. He says he is interested in her romantically. He has a romantic attraction to her, but he just does not feel they're a good match or they are on the same wavelength. And Do doesn't understand, and I don't understand. And I kind of wanted him to clarify what he means by saying wavelength. Because from the beginning, these two picked each other. First impression, they picked each other. They had the bowling date. They had fun. They had a secret date. They had even more fun. What changed? Anyways, the camera pans now to Q. Q was waiting at a bar for Sue. Sue didn't show up. Sue showed up to a restaurant where Song was at. So now Q is by the suites. He put a letter in Sue's mailbox, hoping she would get it. But whenever he comes out, he doesn't see her. He opens the mailbox. He sees the letter is still in there. And he's just freaking out. He's like, I did not think I needed this much reassurance once dating. This is so tough and difficult for me. I just fall for Q. Q is an overthinker like me, but he's dating a homebody. And I feel bad for him because dating a homebody is a challenge. As a fellow homebody myself, I have been on the receiving end of these stuff. So I know it can be a little bit challenging dating a homebody, especially when they want their own space. They want to be left alone. It's not because they don't like you. It's just because they need to recharge. Previously, Sue did say Q is draining her. So there's that. But he's just pacing back and forth, opening the mailbox, and I just feel bad for him. And then at one point, he knocked on her door. I was like, oh, Q, don't do that. I was like, no, Q, do not do that. Listen, I understand dating a homebody is challenging, but clinginess always repels. A clingy person is literally like a love repellent. Clinginess repels and confidence attracts. He knocked on her door. I was like, no, leave her alone. The camera pans back into the room and Sue is in there sleeping. You know, being a homebody, she just needs her space. After his little anxiety montage, he walks into the living room where all the other participants are at, and he basically talks about how they're at the halfway point and he hasn't met his goal yet, and he's been trying to do this, do that. Everyone basically looks at him as if he's a pariah. They tell him, well, just go with the motions. Whatever goes, goes. But Q's like, what are y'all talking about? And I agree with Q. What the heck are y'all talking about? You are here to date. Going with the motions has clearly not getting any of these people in a relationship. I don't know why you think that would be different now. Like, the goal is for you to end up in a relationship. Go for your goal. Yes, Q is a little more driven or goal-oriented than most of these participants, but the fact that they try to make him into a pariah, I didn't like that. I completely understand what Q comes in. He's analytical, he is logical, he's going to formulate a plan and go for it, but I didn't like that little scene. After that scene, Sue wakes up from her sleeping beauty nap and she finally walks out of her suite and she meets Q there. He basically asks her, like, where's your head at? I was waiting for you at the bar. You didn't show up. And she had reservations because he's in med school. And doctors don't have that much time to date. Especially since right now he's still a student. But once he becomes a resident, he's going to have even less time to date. And she's just worried if he's going to make time for her. And Q's analytical brain just goes up 100%. He's like, well, on Monday, doing residency, I'm going to do residency from 8 to 10. From 10 to 11, I am free. I can come meet you. We can go to a cafe. We can have an early lunch. And then I go back to my residency place from 11 to 3. And after that, I have a little 30-minute break from 3 to 3:30. And by that time, I can call you. And after that, and Sue is drained. And I am drained. Listen, I love a well-formulated plan. Do not get me wrong. I make plans for myself. But after this scene, I realized I'm actually more cute in everyday life when it concerns me and my ambition. And I'm also Sue when it comes to dating. Like, la-di-da-da-da. Just do whatever you want. I was like, okay, Q, love the logic. Love the plan, love the execution, but it's a little too much. It's a little too much. Although I still disagree with everyone else's comment about how he's so analytical. I'm like, maybe tone it down a notch. This obviously scares Sue. She was like, this man has crafted his life to the T and managed to insert me wherever he can. I am terrified. I was terrified for her too, but I still like you. But I was still like, we may need to work on this little tidbit, Q. After that conversation, Sue was just like, wow, new red flag unlocked. I did not know this was a red flag. I did not know someone so curated and analytical would actually be a red flag for me. I laughed. I do think it was a bit much. I do think he came on a little too strong. And for a homebody, like I said, clinginess repels. They're going to run away. She's a runner. She's a track star. Yeah. I was like, ooh, cute. I'm still cheering you on. But this one, I'm going to have to agree with Sue. New red flag unlocked. What was that? After that, Doe meets Mark as he's walking back to the suite. She's just asking him if he had a change of heart about her. He says yes. And I'm just so confused. What happened? But as I'm thinking back, this is why I presented their age, occupation, and for some people, if they attended a Sky School or not. Don't attend a Sky School. She attends Seoul University. That is literally the S in the sky. She also went to a highly gifted high school. And I think in Mark's head, he feels inadequate because of her intelligence. This is something a lot of smart women have always said. Men do not approach them because they feel inadequate because of their intelligence. And I think this is what is playing in this dynamic. I also think this is why Mark did not give Bambi a chance. Yes, there's also the age gap difference. In Korean society, respect your elders, respect the person who's older than you. So it would technically put Mark as lower than Bambi. I'm assuming, I don't know, never been there. That same society that also values the way you look and your accomplishment. Accomplishing something like going to a sky school is a huge thing. And I think it is because of that and the fact that Doe said she wants someone of a similar background. He felt like she wanted someone who has also gone to a sky school and who was also gifted intellectually, when that is literally not what she said. This is just a whole bunch of miscommunication. I actually think Mark is feeling insecure about his relationship with Doe because of her intelligence. Even though he's romantically attracted to her, he feels inadequate when it comes to intelligence. This is something that have plagued women throughout time. It's not just an East thing. It happens in the US as well, where men feel inadequate when they're around an intelligent woman. So it's not even like something that is just unique to Korea. And I just felt bad for Doe because it's like, she finally found someone who had reciprocal feelings to her as she does them. But now, because of basically him feeling insecure and him feeling emasculated, he's not even willing to give it a shot. You know what? I actually think Doe not being with Mark is a blessing in disguise. If he has these feelings of inadequacy, it is better for him to not be with her. Okay, so after that, the camera pans to Jay. Jay wants to talk to Miu Miu about their discussion during their secret date in the afternoon, where he basically told her he liked her. He's backtracking. He's like,
well, I know I said I liked you in the afternoon, but I don't like you like that.
And she's just looking at this man like, what? What are you talking about? What is the point of this? So you call me out here to tell me you're not that into me? He's like, yeah, I'm actually really not that into you. I know you're interested in someone else, but I'm not that into you. And she's just taken aback, like, what the heck is this man talking about? What is happening? But, you know, Miu Miu is polite. If she was in the US, I think she would have cussed him out. But, you know, she was like, okay, right. Thank you for letting me know you're not that into me. So she basically walked away because she was disturbed by that conversation. I was disturbed. I was like, Jay, please, quiet. Just be quiet. But she walked away. She saw G. She was like, girl, come. I got something to tell you. So as they're walking down, trying to find a place for Mimi to dish down the tea, Jay sees them, jumps down, and hides in the bushes. I was just like, Jay, this is real life. This is not a movie. Why are you jumping down and hiding in the bushes? If you see them, just say good evening and walk away. What was that? He hides in the bushes and overhears Miu Miu talking to G about how this man in the afternoon said he liked me. Now he's calling me over to tell me he's not that into me. She's like, am I tripping? Or what is going on? What's in the water? G's like, nah, you're not tripping. That's bullshit. In the most polite way ever. It was like, that's BS. He's full of it. And Miu Miu's like, thank you, because I thought I was tripping. I just watched that whole thing. I was like, wow, was that necessary? Things are just getting even more awkward and even more chaotic. It's a combination of awkward and chaos that actually goes well together. Wow. So after G has that conversation, she goes to the lounge and everybody else is there. And Doe's also in the lounge talking, and she's just, you know, she's having a hard day. The guy she was into her a few seconds ago, and now he changed his mind. She's having a hard day, and she's just trying to get a drink. And she looks over her shoulder, and she sees how Mark and G are just fiddling and playing together. So she taps Mark on her shoulder. She pulls him to the corner. She's like, are you into G? He's like, yes. Huh? When did this romance start? Oh my gosh. This series it's both chaotic and both awkward together. As much as I want to yell at the screen and say, don't say that, they're also doing stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, please be quiet. Oh my gosh. Anyways, it's very entertaining. Give me 5 more seasons. I need 5 more seasons of this awkward love fest. Love it. Anyways, Please let me know what you thought of this review in the comment section below, and I'll see you next week. Mwah.